I gave her my heart, but after her promotion, she changed. The late nights, the lies, all led to one truth. She was sleeping with her married boss. I exposed her, thinking honesty was right. But now everyone says I ruined her life. I used to believe that love could survive anything. For 3 years, my ex and I built what I thought was a solid relationship. We had plans, dreams, and those late-night talks about our future that made everything feel real. But everything started changing about 8 months ago, right after she got promoted at work. I remember the day she told me she was so happy, jumping around the living room, and I was genuinely proud of her. She'd worked hard for that promotion, and I celebrated it like it was my own success. But somewhere after that moment, something inside her shifted. She started acting different. At first, it was subtle canceled dates, unanswered texts, a cold tone I wasn't used to. Then came the little digs. She'd say things like, "You wouldn't understand, it's a management thing," or "You should really think about growing your career, too." I brushed it off, thinking maybe she was just stressed. But soon, the woman I fell in love with began to act like she was above me, as if making a few thousand more made her somehow superior. Conversations became lectures, affection became routine, and those warm, late-night hugs, they turned into short, distracted goodnights. I tried to fix things. I cooked her favorite meals, surprised her at work, even bought us tickets for a weekend getaway. But she kept finding excuses to stay late at the office. I remember one night, I stayed up waiting for her 1 a.m., then 2 a.m., and when she finally came home, she smelled like perfume I didn't recognize. She brushed past me and said she was too tired to talk. That was the first time I felt that sinking, stomach-twisting feeling that something was wrong. Then, one evening, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the table. I wasn't the kind of guy to snoop, but the message preview stopped my heart. "Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again." The name above it, her boss, who I knew was married. My hand shook as I opened the thread, and there it was. Messages, photos, hotel bookings, all of it. My entire world crashed in 1 second. When I confronted her, she didn't even deny it. She just looked at me, cold and distant, and said, "You wouldn't understand, it's complicated." That was the last thing she ever said to me before I walked out. But I had no idea that this heartbreak was only the start of something much, much bigger. After that night, I went completely numb. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just packed my things and walked out of the apartment we shared. For 3 years, that place had felt like home. But suddenly, every wall, every photo, every piece of furniture felt fake, like I'd been living in someone else's story. I blocked her number that same night and decided I was done. I wasn't going to be the guy who stayed quiet to protect a cheater's image. A few days later, I told our mutual friends the truth. I didn't go into every detail, but I made sure they knew the real reason I ended things. I wanted to take away her power to twist the story. I thought that once I said it, that would be it. I'd told the truth, and now I could move on. But I was wrong. That was just the spark that set off the wildfire. Rumors have a strange way of traveling faster than facts. Within a week, people were whispering about her and her boss. At first, I tried to ignore it, but then, one evening, I got a message from an unknown number. The text read, "Is it true that your ex was sleeping with my husband?" My heart dropped. It was his wife. I stared at my screen for a long time, debating what to do. I didn't want to destroy anyone's marriage, but she deserved to know the truth. So I told her, plain and simple, that yes, it was true. She didn't reply, and I didn't hear from her again. For a moment, I actually thought that was the end of it. Then, about a week later, a friend from her office texted me, "Dude, you won't believe this, her boss got fired." Apparently, the company had strict rules about relationships between superiors and subordinates, and once the affair became public, he was gone instantly. My ex wasn't fired, but she was demoted. The promotion that had changed her so much, it went to someone else. That's when the messages started. First from her, then from mutual friends, then even her parents. "You didn't have to ruin her life," they said. "You should have kept it private." I remember sitting there, reading those words, feeling sick. Ruin her life. I wasn't the one who cheated. I wasn't the one who broke company policy. All I did was tell the truth. But apparently, in everyone else's eyes, honesty was the real crime. It's been almost 2 months since everything fell apart, and somehow, I've become the villain of this story. It doesn't matter that I didn't cheat, that I didn't lie, that I didn't betray anyone. In everyone else's eyes, I'm the reason her life went downhill. After the truth came out, she lasted only a few more weeks at her job before she quit. Her coworkers had stopped talking to her, and when they did, it was behind her back, whispers, judgment. The kind of quiet cruelty that eats you alive. She couldn't stand it anymore, so she left. And instead of owning her mistakes, she decided that all of this was my fault. One evening, her mother called me. Her voice was full of tears and anger. She said, "You could have kept quiet. You didn't have to destroy her career." I remember sitting there, holding the phone, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Destroy her career. She did that herself. I didn't ask her to sleep with her married boss. I didn't tell her to betray someone's trust, mine or his wife's. But somehow, the blame had found its way to me because it's easier for people to hate the one who told the truth than the one who caused the damage. Even some of our mutual friends turned their backs on me. They'd whisper things like, "You went too far," or "You could have just walked away." But what no one seemed to understand is that I did walk away. I didn't seek revenge. I didn't start rumors. I just refused to lie for her. I refused to let her rewrite the story and make me the fool who got dumped for being And now, for standing up for myself, I'm being painted as the cruel ex who ruined a woman's life. I'll be honest, there were nights I questioned myself. Maybe I should have stayed silent. Maybe I should have just let karma handle it. But then, I remind myself of one simple truth. She made her choices, and choices have consequences. If telling the truth makes me the villain, then fine, I'll wear that title proudly. Because I'd rather be the villain who stood for honesty than the coward who protected a lie. At least I can sleep at night knowing I didn't betray anyone. I just told the truth, and somehow, that was enough to make me the bad guy.